everybody to another B video. It's been a little while since I've done a voiceover on some of my builds here. We're back on this particular world. Of course, we have all the wool add-on. We got, of course, our balloons, our little garage, and also our little garage here. So we have our cars, this little area that we've been working on. That I thought today. Oh, look at this. We even still have. Jeff, I guess we'll call him, because he's still here. He still hasn't left. I don't know if he wants to move in. Right, but we'll leave it to be for that. So I thought keeping up with this. Oh, look at this. We even got the chickens. And I didn't realize the chickens modded into this side of the world, which means most of the other mobs. This is of course the variant, which was on a recent update. Of course, this guy looks pretty chipped up. He's like, hey, yo. We'll let him go do his thing. But I thought maybe doing some more exploring, because I haven't touched this one world in a while. I just came across in some old files. I was like, oh, okay, well, I might come back and do another video on this one, and I finally kind of did. I would probably like to maybe develop this area. I think that's the other pig variant down here. Yeah, that's the other pig variant. It's the warm pig variant. There we go. But I don't think we really had a full go through on my last video. It was more of the silent one where I kind of built my house and stuff like that. But I do want to make maybe do a little exploring today and seeing what I could do. But I really want to get is maybe a nice area, maybe throwing another house or whatever. Because I was just talking to some friends, and I was thinking maybe making some type of base, maybe an arena or something to kind of practice my parkour skills and stuff, which I know. And some of you have seen, which is pretty, not my thing. I don't think at this point there was any, oh, look at this, oh, look at this little boy. He's so cute. Moo, you're mine. Thank you. You're coming with me. Say goodbye to Mom. Anyway, I'm gonna kidnap this guy and bring him to this base. Actually, I think he's just too cute. We'll slip him down by, of course, somewhere where he could be tied. He's going bouncy. Okay, come on, buddy. Stop bouncing around. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down there. Good. We can do this nice and slow. He might come down. Damage. Okay, we did it. Well, took a bit of damage. Not that big. Okay, there, from here. Now, as most will know, to keep them from despawning, it's best to name them, which I think we'll do in a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. Mom found me. Okay, well, you know what? We can't leave Mom out of the picture. Come on. Yes, you can come over here. Kids over here. It's funny how they follow you when they know you're kidnapping their kids. Don't kidnap people, please. That's not right. Alright. There. You and your kid. There you go. Anyway. But this whole generation was kind of cool when I started developing it in here. Because you can see all these kind of really cool kind of rock formations and stuff like that. That would be good for some of the stuff to kind of build. You can even build over here. Kind of facing towards the water. Being not too far away would be kind of cool. But, so, with most, I know I originally had started in one of my old builds was an arena. I don't know if many remember that. But I was thinking, as what we could do is with the power command and stuff like that, maybe start a arena maybe here or something like that. That way we can develop it a little more now. Maybe we could put it maybe a little closer, like right here. It just has to be dealt with like grass and stuff like that. And what we could do is clean up a lot of the area. And like I said, we can even put like more buildings. Like that was just like, this house here was kind of like built out of a mountain. So it kept most of its original shape. Over here, like I said, I was thinking about like an arena thing. And we can also even like, maybe over time, I'll even have Agency Minecraft on this channel, and we can actually go ahead and we can maybe develop more in any of these areas here. He's a pretty seasoned builder as well. And we also got, it's freaky easy to build black sheep at the same time. Ominous! But anyway, so there's lots of things we can do, and stuff like that. Now I'm thinking, like I said, developments in a lot of these different areas. Like a lot of it is quite like pretty and stuff like that. Like here you got like all the sheep and stuff like that. I mean, you could do that, but there's not like a lot of trees compared, because like where the development is currently and stuff like that. Now I could go as far as maybe over here. Still isn't too far away, and it's still like a very large kind of like we'll just go this way a bit more. There, we'll go speed up a little bit and look around. So all the trees are like mostly right here. So like if this is in a survival situation, no problem. Oh, see, there's a village. See, I personally like to be in a villages that like give you like more like a lot of resources. Like that's a big thing for some players and stuff like that. This one actually has 2 churches. That's actually pretty cool. They're both very Christian. You can see like this one's kind of down on a little like pit and stuff like that. And this one's over here. And so this is pretty cool. Usually when they have like the 2 churches and stuff like that, the thing is usually you'll have 2 blacksmiths. But okay, this 2 is really driving me. So we got all that, and we got like a good like development land in here, and we also got food. But anyways, we're gonna get ahead of ourselves. But I really did think about that. Maybe, like I said, developing, maybe adding with time. Maybe we can maybe make more, get some more people to come in and kind of like help work out some of the things and stuff like that on here. This is a really nice area, and being like they're also sort of close to like 2 biomes, I guess, and stuff like that. Because like you got your like got sandy plains here and stuff like that. So this is pretty good. But anyway, so which way was home? Oh well, we'll find it eventually. I know it's in a rocky area because that's where we developed it last time. And where is that? Ooh. Anyway, so that would be maybe our plan. That's to start getting some things started. So we'll start maybe today. Okay, there's our house right here. Pretty good. I knew it was like in like this area here because it was pretty fun. But maybe what we could do is getting some commands in, stuff like that, getting some of this cleared off, filled in, so on and so forth. So this is a lot of ground. It's okay. So I think if you gotta figure out how far you're gonna want to clear out. So we're gonna stack about here because you want to try and make a perfect square. So if we start, oh, I didn't have cords on. Hold on. Alright, we got our cords. So, like, the one thing I would say is if you're going to learn how to kind of, like, clear out stuff like this and stuff like that, I know there's a lot of people who are really experienced in that. When you're using these commands, make sure your cheats are on. I wouldn't put this on, like, a friend's world, of course, but, like, it's a fast way to kind of clear out clutter, because like if you were to do this by hand, you're usually going to be spending like over an hour probably doing that, which like I know in my one video I think it was like 2 hours to clear that. But anyways, yeah, so I want to make this as smooth as possible. So what we're going to do is we find it. I think I put cheats on. Hey, no, I got to double check I put cheats on. Okay, yeah, I had to make sure. Yeah, so they are on. That's one of your big factors when you're going to be clearing these commands. Not too hard to remember, and just remember your base chords, which is right here. So if you're like me, sometimes like what I kind of like do is I'll mark them down. So we're gonna go 181, 87, 129, because you want to get where you are. Always get like your Y chords, because that will also make things. So when you go over here, and you can only do so much at a time, unfortunately. Okay, so this should be about 87, 88, and make sure if I'm not flying. I've done that too many times. Okay, 87, there we go. Okay, so if you go /fill space your last chords that you want to start at, so we're going to go 187. Oh, sorry, 181. Sorry. Good thing I marked them down. 87 and 129. Do it like this, and then when you're going it, you go this, 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 which will show you your side. You can actually go AIR, and it will empty those blocks in that chunk, or how much you saw. Now, not always perfect, because due to the fact that like you may have to spend a little time getting it, but it's one of the faster ways to clear out land, as you can see, like a large portions. But now, actually, ooh, okay, that was better than moving. That's not good. So I think like what we'll do is make this area pretty flat. And again, we're gonna mark down the chords. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go right here, and we're gonna mark him and make sure, because that helped. 209, and again 87 and 122. Now the way it's going to work is you're going to get a square of clearing. So you're going to get as much of a square as you can in. Now it will only go so far, because if there's too much in a chunk, it will not fully clear them out, or it will say too much in chunk, or usually too much to clear. So now we can actually go in. We're in a new area. Again, /fill 209, 87, and then we're going space 122. Then you do that. Now you can also change it to whatever you want. It could be grass, gravel, whatever. We're going to keep it at the gravel, because due to the fact that it's one of the things. Now you could change, even if you wanted at that point, is obsidian. Like if you want like a really strong base, because if you're going to be doing some type of like TNT thing, it'd be one of probably your strongest that you could put down that would be helping. Okay, I'm sorry. And then we could just go after that. Just go AIR, which is a clear, and then you press enter, and it says 410 blocks were filled. But it technically means they were removed. You're good. And now look, we have ourselves a nice clean, clear area. Of course, we might film like some spots, whatever. Totally up to you. So I think we'll work with this. Like I said, it's not too far from like our house. And I usually like to do kind of bases and stuff, so we're gonna just clear some of our inventory. This is all because I did like a little party there with Agency Minecraft. We were kind of like did that. So I'm gonna stick with yeah, we have some kind of vertical slabs in right now. I don't know what you do to crack netherite bricks or anything. I thought like even like netherite, because like that's super strong and stuff like this, even heat resistant. A lot of other blocks I know are like heat resistant too. I don't think like, because like most times like we're in like a creative situation, so it's not so. I do like the colors of the blocks and stuff like that. What do we see? What do we have? I love the gilded stone. It's one of the more nicer ones. And what can we do? I just want like a good strong kind of like material. I know like obsidian and crying obsidian is pretty strong as it is. So we want to kind of have that as well. So I think we'll start with these blocks particular. Now, it's like with most of my builds, usually when kind of building out for like a base, whatever, it's kind of figuring out like what spacing are you going to want when it comes to like the item that you're going to be building. So I'm thinking a good base. So we're going to start, of course, with the obsidian because like it is, like I said, a strong kind of base. I like to try to keep it even, so if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the reason why I'm going to leave that is I'm going to put some steps into this build. So I usually need to mark out when I'm doing that. Now to make like kind of like the square, you put this, and then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is why it's important to have like your area kind of fully cleaned out. I will probably off camera later on clearing out more and more of this area, maybe even like change up the base to something much more strong. Did I do 10? Yes, I did. And then always leave a 2 space for my, like I personally do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Now, as you can see, it's slowly taking shape. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give it 2 step gaze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and perfect. Which will give you your strong, like kind of like a, it was like I would say more like a reinforced base, because like when I'm building stuff like this was actually one of my really old ideas from a build that I did a long time ago. I usually look for for materials especially that don't have kind of like a burn base or stuff like that, because if you're doing a lot of things that involve like lava or whatever, a lot of materials will burn, especially like woods and stuff like that. And also to working with, say, TNTs, whatever, that also affects how long your structure of your base is going to be. Now, I'm thinking what we could do is I'm going to build kind of a bit of a higher like base platform. Now, what we're going to do with this area here in between those like spots is if we go over here, I'm not going to worry about steps, because steps are usually not like a big thing for me. But we're going to use maybe some polished steps, like want to, like, it's actually kind of a nice touch. So we're going to go do that on all the base. So now, I'm not going to fill like any of this part with like glasses in like a regular build, because this is not going to be typically a regular build. This is going to be more of a kind of like arena thing. I don't remember if I even posted a video of my last time I tried to build like an arena. Like, it's been such a long time. I used to make a lot of arenas when I first really started getting into like really good long like builds and stuff like that. So everything. Now we're gonna run into a little bit of an issue. Oh, maybe we could build over this guy. Okay, where did I go? All right. So we're gonna get this done. Hopefully it won't take us too long. I know I could use the command, make it a little bit faster, but seeing that it's more of a curved build, not a... Oh, great. Usually I like to do most of that at that point in a like regular by hand. It's not like a super big arena, but this is just like, again, for like tutorial business. So like if you're kind of learning how to get like something for yourself or friends or whatever, this is just ideas. Don't worry about it. 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, 5. Okay, so I want to just sit here. I usually build pretty fast, so I'm not worried if I kind of like mess up, because like, again, if you're in creative, it's not a big issue. You got endless supplies. So like, I understand if you're in a survival situation, like even now, like just so much kind of like obsidian would be like, oh goodness. Well, you could get an obsidian farm. I mean, that would be one of your faster ways to do this build at that point. But again, you're going to probably need between 3 and 5 stacks of obsidian minimum. Now, if you're building it all the way up with the obsidian, yeah, then that's another thing as well. And it's the same, like, again, with the netherite blocks. Again, having to go to the nether, then you have to find it. And then it takes, like, the 3 scrap to make one kind of, like, ingot. Then you need, like, 9 of those. So, like, again, that's multiple trips to kind of getting, like, some of the supplies you're going to need. So, yeah, I would recommend, if you're able to, do a lot of your builds in creative, and then you can put yourself, of course, back into survival, and you, of course, can, you know, work with your friends and kind of like whatever. So it's cool. That's how I usually kind of do, is like I'll kind of like stay with like a creative kind of thing, but then if I want to enjoy like the survival part with my friends, I'll just like put myself back into survival, and then usually it's pretty good afterwards. So anyways, let's just get this done, and we'll work with some kind of like aesthetics along the way, kind of getting that all stuff. We're not going to worry about going to nether or anything, because like that would be like showing you how to get like nether rack and all this stuff. That would take me a while to do. 2, 3, 5. Now the reason why I'm doing 5 along the edges is I'm going to show you. But this is what I like when it comes to like decorating. So that's why I'm just trying to hand do some of the middle pieces and stuff like that. Now this chicken is just going to have so much fun. Well, I'm glad you liked Mr. Chicken. Now this part is it's lightning proof too. So this is what I like. So now you got like kind of a really nice like kind of middle. Now I would suggest either you could go with the blackstone, or you could go and do something like, let's try this. We're gonna go say a double layer of I think it's a blackstone, goldstone. Yeah, goldstone. I think yeah. I don't always work with this, but it is a very nice block, though. It usually is found in bastions for those who are still kind of new at the Minecraft game. It's a little tricky to come by if you're mining it and you're not used to the piglins kind of like attacking your units. I've actually had some really funny stories that happened to me when I first started really kind of like getting into the nether and doing some funny things like that, and they're like a survival. I didn't understand anything when they did kind of like the update where they actually had like piglin boots and stuff like that. It was so funny because I thought it'd be like an easy mine because I was so used to the old Minecraft. But then like I go in and I see this structure and I go, oh, that's pretty cool, because I was used to like, you know, so many of the other old structures, and then I'm like going in and also next thing you know I'm like being chased. It was kind of fun. So see, the one thing I like about this here, the crying obsidian, is it's also a light source. And it kind of gives you that kind of ominous glow. Kind of like, I guess if I were to kind of classify that, it's more like an Enderman's eyes. That's me personally. I don't know if many people would think that, or if they think it's just silly. But it's got a lot of like good properties for the fact that you don't actually need to have very much of a light source at that point. And like I said, if you do this, kind of like, you don't have to fold this exactly. I mean, kind of it's something that works for you. But this does have a good durability because it's like obsidian, but it's kind of got that kind of glowing effect to it. Now I'm thinking what we'll do is just, at this point now, is just refill this middle. Yeah. Just gonna go there. Just trying to hurry up here so we too much time doing it. There we go. I did put the soundscapes on, so don't mind me. Actually, if you can, I didn't realize it, but if you go from a distance, oh, sorry, a little too high. It kind of looks like a gigantic guy. I didn't realize that. It looks like an actually like an Enderman's eye. It's staring at me. You know, I could put my white in it. It'll just be like really creep people out. Anyways, we're not going to do that. So I think next we're going to go. Oh, it's a little hard at night and you can't see too much. Now, for this part that I'm going to do, I usually put like a side pillar support. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and we're just going to, one. And we'll go over here, time, we're going to go day, because this is ridiculous. I'm also going to go over here, weather, clear, there. Hello. Thank you. Now, I guess we'll leave it as the arena. I would suggest not making it too high in between if you want to do a multi-level kind of thing. It doesn't have to be. I did do one in the multi-level. I think I'll skip that one today and we're just going to do a very basic one. This one would be very like kind of like strong, stuff like that. But I do want to put like a dome on it. So for that, I would say go 8 high on a pillar. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. Make sure you get it on the one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And make sure you get them like on the edges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I usually do it by eye because I pretty much at that point have gotten pretty much We actually got like some, these two guys on here kind of like chilling out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. So you kind of have like kind of like this. You've probably seen something like this in some people's worlds. I'm not like an original creator on that. So once you have that in, you may want to try to okay, there we go. That's what we wanted. There we go. I want to try to keep that middle piece kind of keep it as even as possible. And then we're going to put maybe some Kranga. Like I said, the Kranga Obsidian is kind of nice for like a light source. Now we're going to kind of run off to making kind of like a roof. So 1, 2, there. And then put that here. There we go. Try to like keep this. Now I could have easily, to avoid like trying to figure that out, I could put another like pole right here, but I try to make things like a little more easier, a little bit nicer, stuff like that. So, oh, did I miss? Okay, that's okay. We can work with that. Oops, wrong one. Over here, and over here. There we go. Yeah. Let me know in the comments below, like, if you still like me, like, voice tutorialing some of these things, or do you just prefer me building? And because I've been doing that lately, don't know like if that's like something he's got. I'm gonna still try to get, like I said, mods done. But unfortunately, I had a family death that I was dealing with. It was kind of unfortunate. So I've been kind of like still trying to get like stuff out for everybody, but it's tricky. Okay, okay, I got back up here. Okay, alright. Okay, this is why. That's why. There we go. Alright. Back in again. So, like, you're gonna have something that is gonna look like, at this point, will look like a boxing ring. I get it. The tricky part will be to putting a kind of like a roof, which isn't like the hardest thing in the world. Now we will be probably at that point, I was thinking like glass, but I was thinking like the dark glass or something like that, because that would be nicer. So we're not going to do the lodestone, don't worry about that. We got our obsidian, we got the Kranga Obsidian, we still got our netherite, and stuff like that. So yeah, I would probably do a simple. Now you could do from the corners, but to kind of tutorial through that, everything would be kind of. So we're gonna go start here. What else? Okay, 3, 4 corner. Okay, so what we're gonna do is get that there, there. And then what I'm doing is I'm actually essentially marking where the roof is going to start for our build. So one thing I like about like the Kranga Obsidian is it kind of has like, you can see like where the blocks are, whereas if you're using the black obsidian alone, you really wouldn't. So you would kind of have to like pre-measure with another block and kind of figure that out. So I kind of measured out. So what we're going to do is kind of like make a kind of like a bit of a tower thing. Kind of getting that. So what we're going to do there, because what we're going to do is start building up like a sort of like, I don't think a very high roof. You don't have to make it very high. Like, you already got like 8 blocks from the base, so you're not going to need like major height, unless like it is going to involve like maybe the giant zombie and stuff like that. Now you would probably, I would say, more do like 30 blocks tall. That way you kind of have more space, like if you want to kind of like spawn them, whatever. But it's mostly, I want to say this, mostly
one eternity later.
I will be clear with that one. I did that as a test once. It was kind of funny, but yeah. I missed one, so give me a minute here. So you can see, we got part of our stilts for our roof. So we're gonna do. See, now they're gonna start connecting, which is fine. You want them to kind of connect. Oh my god, what's going on with this one? Did I do something? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah. Oh, 4 on this one. Okay, 4. I'm on the 4s. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, let's figure this out. Okay, maybe I just made it a little too high. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oops. Sometimes when you're working with it, like, you don't know what will connect, what won't connect perfectly. Okay, maybe I'll just see, but this doesn't seem right. Oh, that's why. Okay, I got it. Alright, well, I have to take these down. This one's messed up here. Alright, that's what it was. That's why it's always good to pay attention to your builds. See, now it's correct. Spacing. There. That should do. Correct. Like, I may be a good, sort of good builder, but yeah, I myself have had, like, the lupus like that. Now I'm gonna take this block out. There we go. There. A little more fluent. A little more nicer. Alright. Now, I think what we'll do at this point is, okay, this is ridiculous. We're gonna use, you know, I should set just a permanent day, because then we don't have to worry about all this stuff. So we're gonna use like a bit of a netherite block, because like is, like I said, stronger, whatever. You can, if this point after you're done like building this part out, you can fill the rest of this gap in with a like a glass, if you really wanted to. Like, you don't have to, but usually when it comes to like weather, whatever, it depends if you're gonna let that be like a factor in you build. Now, another thing you could do is multicolor the glass. It's actually a nice little touch. So we got kind of like this base, so that's good. So we're gonna use. Where's my? Did I put it away? Yes, I probably did. Oh no, there's. It's so. Look at this. In your inventory bar, you can't really see too much. But like you'd have to be, even like if you're over here, you can see the other blocks, but right here is the tinted glass. It's such a like a kind of like a mystery glass thing. So at this point, I think we're gonna do oops, 2-row with this tinted glass. I call it like the hiding glass because when I've actually gone into builds with it, and then I kind of like, where did I put my tinted glass? I mean, the whole time it's sitting in your inventory and you kind of don't see it and stuff like that. And even when you're like building with this particular glass, like one thing I realized quickly, it's hard to notice it. Like you have to almost like have like your brightness up on the block, because you won't notice it unless it's sitting there and you're kind of doing like stuff like that. So I'm sorry, I have my cat. My cat. She was sitting on me and she kind of like jumped down and everything else. Just give me a quick second here. Like I have to play music. I'm doing like so many builds and stuff like that. Like I need to. Plus, I need to drink here. Coffee. Anyway, so builds are always fun. Like keep them simple, keep them creative. I like seeing that. Like when I visit like people's realms and stuff like that, it's nice to kind of see different things. I'm just showing you what you can do. But you make the best decision for you when you're doing your build. So we got like the 2-way block here. Now what I'm going to suggest is probably find a color that works. So I would even probably go like a red. But seeing if you could do more of like a purple, because like, you know, you got of course the crying obsidian and stuff like that. What I could do is I would usually like to leave a block on every corner, and we're just gonna run. Now this color you can see pretty good in your inventory, so you can see that in our hotbar here. That's one of the few things like I have, like I said again with the stained glass. It's tricky because you can't see it right off the bat. I don't want to keep this build on too long. There we go. And one thing I hate about this world is it's got too much rain. So we're going to kind of go like this. Now, to do the, I would probably do something like this. Makes you wonder what this is. Now, I don't know if that was just because I'm using the obsidian. Maybe it's making that sound. This rain is absolutely bonkers. You know you succeeded in your build when you got like kind of like this perfect sphere. Now that will look really sharp in the end. Like I say to everybody, just be creative on your way you want to go. This is just something I'm just showing you could do. This is just like a little fun project. I really wanted to get... This weather is just driving me crazy in this game. I love a good rain, but like... I don't know if it's just because I got the baby Obsidians causing it. I don't know. I don't know. But you can hear it kind of like rolling in here. There, we'll put this in. We're almost done. Don't be afraid of mistakes. It's a good advice. You know what? Sometimes the little mistakes are the best mistakes because you know what? Makes your builds more interesting. And you don't have to follow everybody else's way and like listen to how things should be done because you're the builder, not them. And there we go. I'm going to leave it like this. Now, I might, like, later on, maybe fill these sides in. But this is just a very kind of tutorial. Now, I could easily maybe spend the time just the last few minutes and just do this quickly, I guess. Let's see. Where's this one? Okay, let's look at this quickly, because... Try to fill as many gaps as you can. There we go. No, we're just trying to hurry up, finish the sauce so we can sit back, really admire the... Just trying to hurry. This. Finish off this. Yeah, even that. So. There we go. I just want to make sure this stays even. I don't want it to be like looking like kind of lopsided or anything like that. Yeah, that should do for that part. And then we're just going to finish off with, like I said, oh, maybe this part here. Okay, that's fine. There we go. I don't know what it is in this game, but when it comes to like nighttime and stuff like that, I find that sometimes it's like more stronger storms and stuff like that. There we go. That's pretty even. It's even like me out a little. That's really, really strange. Alrighty. Okay, I'm just gonna set this back up today because it's a little hard to see it during the night and stuff like that. Where else is it during the day? There we go. Like, we may not be able to do too much about the... Well, I could easily say so that there's no... Like, can we? Oh, I missed this one. Hey, Biggie. There we go. Oops. I'm sure I got this side, but I guess like I've been so busy trying to fix the other little pieces, didn't bother. That's fine. We can fix that pretty quickly. There we go, and I think that should be pretty close to being done. I do believe. Yeah, I would say we're close to this. So. Yeah, that's it. We're done. And there is our little kind of like, you could use it for arena, you could use it for whatever you want, but I'd say it still looks pretty cool because like you could use if, and being that mostly like if you were to kind of be doing anything, like you could go underneath and like no rain. You forget to start the whole top. Okay, well, no problem. Yeah, keeps us dry. And there we go. Now I'm going to go out today, but there you go. I just want to give you a little tutorial. Like I said, touching back on an old world, like we have our house over here. We now got our newest build on the world. And I say, you know what? Even though it's not aesthetically like the other build that we did, I say it turned out really excellent. It's real sharp, has functionality. You can set it up with friends, you know, kind of do some stuff and stuff like that. So that's cool. Anyways, I'm going to let you go for today. I'm going to come back on another video, maybe in like the next like 2-3 videos. And we'll kind of build some. Thank you all for joining me and hope you have a great day. Cheers!